Your dog just stared at you for 47 uninterrupted seconds. You looked away. You had no idea you just hung up on a biological phone call that only your dog can make. One that flooded both of your bloodstreams with the same hormone a mother produces when she first sees her newborn child. This is not metaphor. This is chemistry. And it is happening between you and your dog dozens of times a day without you understanding a single signal. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why your dog hides bones in your laundry, what that yawn during an argument actually means, and why the single most scolded behavior in dog ownership is also the most important health warning your dog can give you. Hit the like button right now before you forget. I filmed 17 takes of this intro, and the dog judged every single one. Do it for the dog. Let's start with the stare. You are on the couch. You feel eyes. You look up, and your dog is locked onto you with the full weight of their attention. Unblinking, still, intense. Most people look away or say, "Stop it." They have no idea what they just interrupted. In 2015, animal behaviorist Takefumi Kikusui at Azabu University in Japan published a landmark study in the journal Science. His team measured oxytocin, the bonding hormone, in dogs and owners during mutual gaze. The owners who spent the most time holding eye contact with their dogs experienced a 300% spike in oxytocin. Their dogs showed a 130% rise. The same chemical that floods a mother's brain when she looks at her newborn. The same loop between a human and an animal. Kikusui's team also proved this was unique to dogs. Wolves, when they make eye contact with humans, experience no oxytocin change at all, because wolves use direct eye contact as a threat signal. Dogs, through thousands of years of living alongside us, evolved something wolves never developed: the ability to hack our parental attachment system through gaze alone. When your dog stares at you, they are initiating a silent chemical conversation. They are recharging their emotional connection through your eyes. Breaking that contact abruptly is not harmless. It is the equivalent of cutting a phone call mid-sentence. Soften your gaze. Look back. Let the loop complete. But the stare is just the beginning. Some of what your dog communicates involves ancient survival instincts so deeply wired that domestication never touched them. Take what happens with a high-value treat: a bone, a piece of dried meat, something exceptional. Your dog receives it and immediately starts pacing, whining, looking for somewhere to bury it. The couch cushions, your shoe, the corner behind the washing machine. From the outside, it looks confused and a little ridiculous. From inside your dog's DNA, it is completely rational. Dogs carry wolf genetics, and wolves in the wild faced one foundational problem: successful hunts were rare. When food appeared, you did not eat it all. You cached it. You protected your future self from the lean times, from winter, from the weeks when prey did not come. Your dog knows, rationally knows, that they are fed at predictable times. That knowledge is recent, evolutionarily speaking. The instinct that says, "Protect this resource from the future," is ancient. These two realities exist simultaneously in their brain, and the ancient one wins. The tragedy of the modern dog in this moment is real. Your house smells like food everywhere, which makes finding a neutral scent hiding place impossible. Your dog is not making a mess. They are failing to solve a survival problem they cannot stop trying to solve. If this happens constantly, it may signal underlying resource anxiety. Show them through routine that the food is reliable. But do not yell at the bank teller for protecting deposits that predate civilization. Here is where it gets stranger and louder. You start singing, or a siren passes outside, and your dog throws their head back and howls. You assume they hate the sound. The opposite is true. Wolves howl to synchronize the pack, to declare location, to say, "We exist, we are here, we are together." When your dog hears you producing a sustained melodic sound, their biology reads it as a pack call, and biology compels them to answer. Listen carefully next time. They will not match your note. They will deliberately choose a different pitch. This is not accidental. In a wolf pack, if all members howl on the same frequency, the pack sounds like a single animal. To appear larger, more numerous, more threatening to rivals, each wolf selects a distinct harmonic register. Your dog is adding their voice to yours to make the pack sound enormous. They are harmonizing. They are saying, "I am here. I am with you. We are loud together." Let them finish the song. There is a behavioral pattern that genuinely baffles owners, and it involves scent. Specifically, the worst possible scent your dog can find on a walk. The dead worm, the rotten fish, the unidentifiable biological disaster near the edge of the path. And your dog drops their shoulder with an expression of pure ecstasy and rolls directly into it. This is tactical camouflage. Wolf ancestors were ambush hunters. A wolf that smells like a wolf warns prey before they are in range. A wolf that smells like a carcass, like rotting leaves, like something that has been dead for 3 days, becomes invisible to a deer's olfactory system. Rolling in carrion was a ghillie suit. It was the difference between eating and starving. Your dog just dressed for work. They are very proud. When you drag them to the bath, you are destroying the disguise they spent real effort acquiring. You cannot let them bring that into your car. But understanding the intent changes everything. They were not being disgusting. They were being skilled. What comes next is the behavior most people mistake for obsessive or problematic. Your dog has a wound. Or you do. If you have a cut, a scrape, a healing surgical site, your dog will find it and attempt to lick it relentlessly. This is not compulsive. This is the oldest medical system they have. Canine saliva contains nerve growth factor. Scientists at the University of Florida found that wounds treated with NGF healed at twice the normal rate. Dog saliva also contains lysozyme, an enzyme that attacks the cell walls of certain bacteria, as well as lactoferrin and peroxidase, both antimicrobial compounds. In the wild, a wounded pack member had no pharmacy. They have the tongues of their family. When your dog licks your wound, they are attempting to donate their own biological antiseptic to repair you. They smell blood. They smell healing tissue. Every instinct they possess says, fix this. Modern veterinary science is clear that dog saliva also carries bacteria that can complicate deep wounds, so you should gently redirect them, but not with anger. They are not being strange. They are nursing you, and scolding a nurse mid-procedure is unkind. This brings us to the gift. You open the back door. Your dog is waiting next to something dead. A bird, a squirrel, some small creature that has had a very final morning. Your dog's tail is going at full speed. They look at you like they expect a ceremony. To understand why this happens, you have to understand how your dog actually sees you as a hunter. They have never watched you catch anything. You appear in the house with food that arrives from bags and boxes. You are, from your dog's perspective, a large, friendly, completely incompetent predator who would not survive a week without help. The dead animal is charity. It is the equivalent of a more capable family member quietly leaving food at your door because they are worried about you. They are filling the role of provider. Scolding them for this is, from their perspective, deeply confusing. Praising the skill while quietly disposing of the gift later is the correct approach. Celebrate the hunter. Now the yawn. 2 different things, same gesture. When you yawn and your dog yawns back within seconds, that is contagious yawning, a behavioral mirror documented in studies going back to 2008 at the University of London, where researchers found that 72% of dogs yawned in response to their owners. This is a marker of emotional attunement. Your dog is synced to your physiological state. But the stress yawn is different, and more important. If you are scolding your dog, voice raised, posture tense, and they begin yawning repeatedly, that is not boredom. In canine communication, a yawn is what researchers call a calming signal. Your dog is telling you, this environment is overwhelming me, and I'm trying to de-escalate. The yawn is a peace flag. It means, I am not challenging you. I am frightened. Please stop. If you recognize that signal and lower your voice, you will watch something remarkable happen. Their body language will shift within seconds. They have been hurt. Before your dog settles in for the night, something else happens that people laugh at without understanding. The circling. 3 rotations, 4, sometimes 5, exactly the same ritual every single time. This is not a quirk. Neuroscientists point to the basal ganglia, the region that coordinates movement and spatial perception, as the origin of this behavior. It is hardwired below the level of conscious choice. In the wild, dogs slept in grass. Circling served 2 functions simultaneously. It flattened vegetation to create a comfortable depression, and it drove out snakes, scorpions, and biting insects hiding in the undergrowth before the dog powered down and became vulnerable. A safety sweep before sleep. A threat check before unconsciousness. Your dog performs this ritual on your carpet, on your sofa, on their expensive orthopedic bed. The threat is not there. The check happens anyway. If your elderly dog stops circling, pay attention. It is often the first indicator that their hips hurt too much to complete the rotation. The dance stopping can be an early warning. Speaking of what happens once they sleep, you are watching your dog in deep rest. Their paws begin to move in running patterns. Their eyelids flutter. Small sounds escape. This is REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, the same neurological state in which humans dream. Research by Stanley Coren at the University of British Columbia confirmed that dogs show all the markers of this cycle, spending roughly 12% of sleep time in REM phases. During REM, the brain processes the day's events. Dogs dream about what they did while awake, running, playing, interacting with you. The muscle paralysis mechanism that normally prevents acting out dreams sometimes slips, which is why you see the paw movements. Never startle a dog out of REM sleep abruptly. Their brain is in a different reality entirely. An abrupt wake can trigger a defensive bite reflex before they have processed that they are safe and at home. Let them chase whatever they're chasing. Then there is the lean. Your dog walks up to where you are seated and presses the full weight of their side against your legs. Or they position themselves with their flank against yours and face outward. This is not just seeking warmth or affection, though it contains both of those things. In pack behavior, the lean is a protection posture. By pressing their side to you, your dog covers your blind spot. They orient outward, toward the room, toward any approach vector you cannot monitor from your position. The physical contact means they can feel any tension change in your body instantly. If you stiffen, they know before you have consciously registered the threat. They are simultaneously making themselves physically vulnerable by exposing their flank and acting as a living perimeter guard. It is a gesture of profound trust and profound commitment at the same time. They are saying, nothing reaches you without going through me first. Now, the vibe check, the one that creates social awkwardness. You introduce your dog to someone. The person seems perfectly pleasant. Your dog barks, backs away, refuses to approach, or stands rigidly between you and them. You apologize. You say you do not know what has gotten into them. Stop apologizing. A dog's olfactory system can detect chemical concentrations at 1 part per trillion. When a human is under stress, experiencing deception anxiety, or carrying concealed aggression, their body releases cortisol and adrenaline in patterns your dog can read the way you read a facial expression. They can also perceive micro-expressions, muscle movements in the human face lasting milliseconds, below the threshold of conscious human observation. There is documented research on dogs functioning as biological lie detectors. There is also simply decades of anecdotal evidence from people who later understood that when their dog refused to accept someone, there was a reason. Your dog is not malfunctioning. They are reading a signal you cannot access. The question worth asking when it happens is not, what is wrong with my dog, but what is my dog reading that I cannot? And then there is the most misunderstood, most punished behavior on this list. The sudden climbing. Not the jumping when you walk through the door. That is excitement, and that can be trained differently. This is different. You are sitting quietly, you are lying down, and your dog becomes urgent, frantic even, trying to get onto you, pressing their chest to yours, refusing to leave, fixated on a specific part of your body. Dogs have been documented in peer-reviewed research detecting cancer through scent long before medical diagnosis. They have been trained to alert to the specific smell of an impending seizure, some achieving accuracy rates approaching 100% in controlled studies. They flag blood sugar drops in diabetic owners before glucose monitors register the change. The cellular changes that precede these conditions produce volatile organic compounds at concentrations dogs can detect and humans cannot. When your dog climbs onto you with that particular urgency, one of two things is happening. Either they're detecting a biochemical signal from your body that something is medically wrong, or they are sensing a profound emotional collapse, a panic attack, a deep depressive episode, and performing what behavioral researchers call deep pressure therapy. The weight of their body pressed against yours is not random. It activates pressure receptors that lower heart rate and cortisol. They are medicating you with physics. 90% of owners push this behavior away. They call it annoying. They scold it as bad manners. They have no idea they are silencing the most sophisticated early warning system in the room. If your dog becomes suddenly obsessed with climbing on you, or fixated on pressing against a specific part of your body, and this is new behavior, see a doctor. Not because your dog is definitely detecting something fatal, but because your dog is never wrong about the direction of a signal, even when the source is unclear. They are pointing at something. Pay attention to what they are pointing at. Look at your dog right now. Not a glance, a real look. They have been sending you messages all day. Every restless walk circuit before lying down, every paw placed carefully on your hand, every moment they pressed their side against yours in a quiet room. They did not develop language over 10,000 years of living beside us. They developed something more direct than language. They evolved the ability to reach into our biology and pull responses from us that we did not know we were capable of giving. There is a philosophical claim that dogs love us more than they love themselves. The evidence supports this literally. Dogs will choose to stay near a sick owner at the cost of their own comfort, their own food timing, their own sleep. They make this calculation constantly, beneath any level of training or behavioral conditioning. A house is just a house. With a dog, it is a place where something is always watching over you, in the oldest possible sense of that phrase. Which of these 15 signals does your dog show most? Drop a comment below with your dog's name and the strangest thing they do. Tell me the behavior you used to scold before you understood it. And subscribe, because if you do not, your dog will stare at you for 47 unblinking seconds every single morning until you do. They already know about the oxytocin loop. They are absolutely willing to use it.